Every child has an equal right to an education. That means learning together, under the exact same roof, regardless of physical or intellectual ability. This approach is a proven global standard. The foundation was laid in 1948, when the Universal Declaration of Human Rights formally established that everyone has a right to education. Turning that written declaration into physical reality required decades of work. Across the world, disability rights advocates organized and demanded equal access to the same educational spaces as their peers. A major milestone arrived in 1994 with the Salamanca Statement. Here, representatives from 92 governments established the rule that ordinary neighborhood schools must accommodate all children, regardless of their physical, intellectual, or social conditions. Today, we are going to translate those international mandates into practical instructions. Grab a pen and pull up your current guidelines. We are going to walk through 5 clear steps to align your school's resources and policies with these global standards. Inclusion is a human right. Delivering on it requires deliberate adaptation. Instead of forcing a child to fit a rigid, existing process, we must build a system that adapts to the child. Step 1. You need to draft a clear, school-wide inclusive policy. This document must be actively understood by both your staff at the school level and by the wider community. This policy serves as your administrative mandate. It instructs that all educational planning, curriculum development, and school organization must account for disabled students as an integral part of the mainstream system. Once the policy is drafted, you move to Step 2. Shifting from isolated special education units to mainstream integration. Look at this flowchart of the outdated model. Many schools create separated units with a rigid barrier, disconnecting special education and forcing isolation. Instead, break down the barrier, redirect specialized resources, like teaching aids and interpreters, directly into unified general education classrooms. The regular classroom is the most effective environment. It allows you to provide a continuum of support services, matching diverse needs in a single location. Establishing a firm policy and redirecting resources breaks the isolation trap. By teaching students side by side, your school actively combats discriminatory attitudes and builds solidarity among peers. Step 3 is implementing curriculum flexibility and ongoing teacher support. Cautionary: be careful to avoid the policy-only trap. Your new guidelines will fail in practice if they are not backed by a budget for ongoing teacher training and high-quality adapted materials. The goal is adapting the learning process to the specific needs of the child, completely abandoning the expectation that the child must conform to a standardized process. Step 4 is upgrading your physical and informational infrastructure, fulfilling the standards set by the 2006 UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. Physically, you must eliminate architectural barriers, install integrated ramps, and verify that a student can navigate independently across the entirety of your campus. Informationally, you must provide diverse formats. This includes Braille text, plain language guides, and accessible information technology. These upgrades are required because true accessibility relies on independence. A student with physical or sensory disabilities must be able to move through the school and consume educational content on their own. Step 5 is integrating parent and community involvement at all levels of your education system. International standards recognize that parents have a prior right to choose the kind of education given to their children and to ensure their moral education aligns with their own convictions. Because systemic barriers are often rooted in a lack of access to specialized information, international standards encourage collaboration between NGOs and governments. Advocacy groups, like the one seen here with Kofi Annan, use this cooperation to facilitate access to modern teaching methods across borders. Instructive. For administrators, the correct process requires you to actively include parents during the initial planning and curriculum adaptation phases. Do not wait until policies are locked in to inform them of your decisions. Formalizing these parent partnerships removes inclusive education from a top-down administrative mandate and turns it into a resilient, collaborative community effort. You now have the foundational steps: policy, integration, curriculum, accessibility, and community involvement. Executing this local plan fulfills a broader international goal: viewing people with disabilities as full, equal members of society with protected human rights. Take action on this framework. Schedule a meeting with your administrative team this week and begin drafting your Step 1 inclusive policy. This blueprint transforms your institution into a proof of concept for the Salamanca Statement, a regular school that actively combats discriminatory attitudes simply by teaching all children together.